Hello and welcome to the garage. I did have a super nice intro showing the part that I'm going to be installing today. After I had somebody take a look at my video before uploading it, they said I looked terribly scared. So I cut that out and here we are. So I will show a picture of the product that we're going to be installing today and then we'll just jump right into the video. Alright, these front frame braces go in right about here. As you can see up top, it kind of is in about the same location as the strut tower, and down on the bottom is mounted to the rocker panel. Now they do get a lot of grief about the fitment of these braces, and I have a little bit of fitment issue also, but I mean, it's a 40 to 50 year old car. There's going to be issues. So I'm just going to simply modify the bottom bracket to fit the portion of my car that it doesn't line up with. And it'll be nice and easy to weld after that. So this corner right here is the part that doesn't fit right. And at least on my Z, it's because this area here actually has a slight slope to it. So it won't fit perfectly in there. So I'm just going to grind this down, give it the right angle that I need, and it'll fit up nice and tight. Now I guess I should clarify a little bit more. That angle that I'm talking about is this right here. So this panel isn't straight like how the bracket is made with the Apex engineered brace. This is actually at a slight slant, and the other side is just the same. I'm not sure what they mocked up with, but that's a slope in question that a lot of the fitment problem comes from, because it'll tweak the whole brace and then make the top portion not line up also.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no.
You can see this is that poor fitment issue that I'm talking about, where this part of the chassis is actually at an angle compared to the 90 degrees that the brace was welded at. So I started to grind down. I think I'm going to have to start taking a hammer to this part to level it out a little bit, just to make it easier and make sure that I'm not grinding too much material away from the brace.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up, got too little time, I'ma live.
I got the fitment pretty well. I ended up taking a hammer to this and grinding a lot, and it fits a lot better now. It might look a little weird, but there's a lot of material that overhangs from the chassis of the car that needs to be ground down before welding. This guy here is a little bit of an issue. If you have the one part flat with the car, the other side of the brace doesn't line up near as well as it's supposed to. The driver's side and the passenger side are like this. Now I have a MIG welder instead of a TIG welder, so I'm going to be able to fill in the gap. Alright, ground off a bunch of the primer around the surrounding area. Tried to get as much seam sealer away from this as possible. Let's throw down a couple of tacks so it doesn't move on us, and then we can fully weld it up.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah.
Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me.
Two things: fitment, fitment, fitment. These things probably will not come to you fitting correctly, and spend a whole lot of time getting it to fit correctly before you start welding. Otherwise, you end up like what you saw in my time lapse, where I'm filling in pretty decent sized gaps with MIG. Definitely not ideal. It will definitely hold. Overall, it's still a decent product for somebody who doesn't have the tools to make the angles of this piece. If you have the tools, I would definitely say make it yourself. One more thing, disclaimer, I am not a professional welder. I'm a dude that just learned how to do it in his garage. Working on the Datsun is definitely the hardest welding project you will ever do in your entire welding career, because if you can weld Datsun, it's like welding two aluminum cans together. It's near impossible, and you have to have a really good welder. This welder here, this Campbell House deal that I got from Menards, works decent, but it's not meant for this kind of work. Better than buying your $100 Harbor Freight welder. One last thing, since I videoed the original part, I have gone back, cleaned up all of my welds with a carbide burr and a flap disc, made sure that there was no holes or porosity in any of it, sanded everything down, and then went over this area of seams with some seam sealer to make sure that there's never any problems with rust behind this brace.